I just feel like the Brits try to make black music seem like it's insufficient, like it doesn't have a place in mainstream culture. Like the biggest sporting events in the world, we'll scrap the Super Bowl. We can look at, you know, like the World Cup and all of these things that go on in sport. Like there's no presence of black music, and we're just going to push it down in the corner, and we're just going to give the one award that means something to that community to somebody who put one song out and even laughed and said it didn't even deserve it.
I think what was quite notable as well is there was a significant amount of people that weren't at the Brits as well. So they had to make their speeches, and their speeches were sent in. So maybe that's actually happening. Artists are like, I don't need these award show ceremonies. Yes, we are fully in award show season, Ness. And I know, like, you know, some people care about the awards a lot. Some of us don't care about the awards as much, but the Brit Awards has just been upon us, and, you know, just after the Mobos as well. Yeah, man, one of the biggest, I'll probably say the biggest music ceremony in the UK. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, the greatest were definitely awarded and nominated. How did you feel? Did you watch the Brit Awards, Ness?
Obviously, as I've stated on previous episodes, my intrigue got the better of me. So I watched the Mobos and I put on the Brits. I think I watched the first performance. I didn't know who it was. Whoever that person was on the stage, I haven't heard the song. I didn't know who it was. They gave out 2 awards or something, and I just turned it off, bro.
Shall I tell you what the beautiful thing for me, Ness, was? All right, of course, the Brit Awards is going to be showcasing a lot of music, a lot of pop music, alternate music that we are not. We are primarily hip hop DJs. You know what I'm saying?
You love the word alternate, so I thought it would have been a little bit more your bag than it was mine.
I'm saying, you joker. I'm saying it's alternative to what we celebrate, play, talk about the majority of the time. But what I find interesting about the Brits and these kind of award ceremonies is the insight into a different world, something that we are not, like, you know, fully immersed in.
Definitely not part of. I'm definitely not part of whatever that was, bro. Because, bruv, I'm cutting you, yeah? I wasn't sure if I was watching an award show or the Hunger Games. Like, I didn't understand what the hell that was on my TV.
Because you saw Danny Dyer sitting down at a table with a person that had, like, some kind of prosthetics on. Like, was a horse? Something like that?
Brother. I can't even get my words out. I saw Danny Dyer sitting down with Grime Gran on my social media feed, and that was heartwarming. It was a nice conversation. Shouts out to Grime Gran, shouts out to Risky Roads, shouts out to all the family. That was great. I don't know what that was, bro.
I think it was like some type of promotional stuff.
No, because her name is Horse Girl, and I've actually had to go and do research, yeah, because as I said, I watched about 6 minutes of this show, and I said to myself, not me, not today. And I turned that off, and I put on a show. Me and the missus, we watch a show called Paradise on Disney Plus, and I advise everybody who is into box sets, yeah, to go and watch Paradise, yeah. I'm only 3 episodes in or 4 episodes in, so I know it's actually 7 episodes. But anyway, I digress. We're going to go with the awards. I put this thing on, bro. And I don't know my thing is this, yeah? It's like England loves to copy America. We do. And in America, they have the Grammy Awards. They also have, they have another award show where people dress up completely out of the box. Do you know the awards I'm talking about? There's another award show. I'll come back to it.
I know they have the American Music Awards.
No, this is nothing. This is fashion. It's just fashion.
Okay.
Right. They have another award ceremony. I'm going to find the name and I'll come back to it. And it's like we here in England decided to merge our music show with whatever that other show that they've got together.
No, you can't say that because it was one case, Ness. It was one case. It wasn't like there was loads of people in fancy dress.
Everybody looked crazy.
Oh, you're saying everyone's fashion was
I didn't even see that face Horse Girl thing. By the way, Horse Girl is a German dance producer, electronic dance producer. And just like Deadmau5 used to wear the mask, she has a Horse Girl mask, yeah?
So it's a faceless artist,
It's a faceless artist. Yeah. I find it disgusting, I'll be real. Like,
why? Why do you find it
just
disgusting?
Because why have you got, like, it just looks mad. It just looks mad. Like, if you was in your bed and you woke up at 3 a.m. to go toilet and you had sleep in your eye and you walked into the hallway and Horse Girl would stand in there, you'd have a reaction. You would either scream,
Ness,
you would knock
crazy,
it out,
you know?
or you'd run. Yeah. So I that's not aesthetically pleasing to me. And I'll tell you what, for the rest of this podcast, I'm gonna warn you now. My opinions are my opinions. I do not profess to be right. I do not profess to be wrong. But these are my opinions. That's a mad thing. That's a sad thing. I didn't understand it. But
all right, let me cut to the chase, Ness. Yeah, I want to say
chase? I'm not done.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah. So Horse Girl is looking like that. There was actually, in the first 5 minutes, there was a skit that was done by Jack Whitehall, I think his name is, the host of the BRITS, yeah?
Yeah, Jack Whitehall.
And he brought his mum and his dad, yeah? They've got to be deep into their 70s and beyond. If not, it's a sad situation, because they're looking 70 and beyond, yeah? And they done...
Wow.
Their age is important, because they done a rendition of, in this skit, of Kanye and Bianca Censori on the red carpet. So you got to understand, a 70-year-old woman is wrapped in just a fur coat. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I was like, that is actually banter. And
wait, was it explicit? Was it fully?
It was far from explicit. You didn't see nothing, but the point is the point. The dad was there with the Kanye get up, and the mum was there with Bianca Censori's thing, and you could just see enough of her chest. I mean, I don't even imagine that she actually was fully naked under there. She probably had a dress on, do you know what I'm saying? Keeping it classy like we would expect people of that era to do. But the skit was the skit. Jack Whitehall, quite a decent comedian, not my favourite, but he's a good one. And they done the skit or whatever, and it was calm. And then the next award is given to Charlie XCX, and I don't even know what award it was, because as I said, after this I turned it off. And she's doing
No. You're saying that the reason why you couldn't remember the award is because what she was wearing. You was blinded by the lights, innit?
Because she's doing she's on stage, not on the red carpet, doing her own impression of Bianca Censori. And she's got her breast out. And I'm just
said free the nipple. She said we're in the era of free the nipple.
Well, okay. Well, you can quote her, but I didn't hear what she said, because I was just looking at the screen.
Ness, are we man-explaining though? Are we mansplaining?
No, this is not mansplaining. This is not mansplaining, because I'm just telling you what I saw. And I saw one rendition there, another rendition there, and I'm going to go back to what I just said, where I feel like we're just trying to copy America. And do you understand why I'm saying all of it? And I was just like, you know what I need to do now? I need to turn this off. Nothing here is for me. I don't know the music. I don't know what's going on. I'm disgusted by things that I'm seeing. I just need to do something else. So my intrigue that I had in all of these award shows, I got through the Grammys. I got through the Mobos. I couldn't do the Brits, bro. I couldn't. All right. I was done.
Aside from your displeasure at like maybe the copy, like the copy and paste that's up for debate, whether it's copying or whatever. Did you see a great level of production when it came to the Brits? Because I feel like I did. Let me put my opinion out there. Like, comparing to some other award ceremonies, I saw great production. I saw clean. I saw, like, you know what I mean, efficiency. I never saw glitches. I never saw awkward silences. From what I saw.
I watched about 5 minutes of it, bro. Like, to be honest. Okay. What I will say is there was a clear distinction in production between the Brits and the Grammys. There was a clear distinction.
Oh, a clear distinction. So you feel like it was a
lot better, like production-wise. Yeah. 100%.
Like the Brits, then the Grammys.
Not the Grammys. My bad. The Mobos. My bad. The Mobos.
So,
listen, I'm gonna part the Grammys off, because we're just on UK soil now at this point. Yeah. So yeah, there was a clear distinction between the Brits and the Mobos. The Brits,
respectfully,
no, there's no respect. There was just more thing. Even at the Brits, what's her name? Sasha Keeble decided to come dressed appropriately this time. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, she didn't look like the sad thing that she looked like at the Mobos. She actually looked half decent here. She actually looked half decent.
You're saying people ain't respecting the Mobos like that?
That was the whole point. She looked like she could. Listen. I'm not repeating myself, yeah? Last week's episode is there. I said what I said about Sasha Keeble's attire. Great vocal, great performance. Looked like she'd been picked up off the floor in Camden. She turned up to the Brits and she looked like she was going to an award show. I mean, I didn't see what was underneath the jacket, but on the red carpet, she looked presentable. Do you understand what I'm saying?
From what you've said so far, that you really appreciated the production at the Brits over the Mobos.
100%.
And from what you've said so far, you only watched 5 minutes because it just weren't for you. And I feel like maybe from what you're saying, you didn't feel like you was as lucky as me, because I was outside spinning, came in the house, put the TV straight on, and they was awarding the best hip hop and grime act award.
Oh, as you pulled into the yard?
Come in the house, I've literally, washed myself, changed my clothes, got into bed, looking to chill, maybe watch something on the TV. Oh yeah, social media's ringing off, the Brits is on. Let me turn on and see what's going on. As I put it on, the best hip hop, grime and rap act is being awarded basically on stage. And maybe to a lot of people's surprise, Stormzy won this year. The category is fan voted. The only thing that Stormzy released of note last year was the single Backbone with Chasing Status, which, yes, went to number 1. But I think a lot of us would agree that 2024 was the year of Central C. Now, let me just put on record the nominations. It was Central C, Dave, Getz, Little Sims, and of course the winner, Stormzy. Now, definitely 2024, the year of Central C. Can't Rush Greatness, the debut album, the lead up to the album, just the fanfare, the impact. But we can't debate Stormzy's loyal fan base because it was fan voted, and we've already discussed how we feel about fan voted categories when it comes to award show ceremonies, because most of the time it's going to be the most popular artist as opposed to subjectively the best in that category. And that's the problem when it comes to fan voted award categories, man. But Stormzy winning best hip hop grime act at the Brits 2025. A lot of debate about it, man.
Something I found on social media, actually the Shade Bar posted it, so a lot of people might have seen it, but if you ain't seen it, Central C's manager YB's had some words. He had some words. I'm a read, so forgive me, I haven't read publicly in a while. No. He said, shout out to Stormzy on the Brits win. I don't necessarily think Central deserved to win. Up for debate because Bashi released a great album last year. Pause. What did we say when we spoke about these nominations a couple of weeks ago? And we said, let's talk about how in tune the Brits are with the culture. This category is the only category really that I actually wanted to pay any attention to. And Bashi dropped one of the best albums out of the UK in a few years, I'll say.
Being Poor is expensive, man. Let's say the name of the album. Being Poor is expensive.
They should know because it just won a Mobo, you know what I'm saying? Which is, again, credit to the Mobos. I have to give Mobos credit to that for even nominating him. So Bashi won that award. And they've given the award to somebody that has released a single track in the whole year. Now, if we scroll back to last year, I did feel like Chip deserved, and I said Chip deserved the Grime award at the Mobos. I felt like that because we agreed he had the most impact. But to be fair, Scorcher released the album, and that's something that I'll overlook because admittedly, it's not an album that crossed my desk. I didn't hear it. I heard bits and bobs here and there, but I didn't listen to the whole album, so I can see that as oversight on my part. So I think this stinks. It really stinks. And I just want to say credit to YB's as well for him even acknowledging that this is not the year in which Central C's album should be considered for the awards. So he's pointing in the direction of somebody who dropped a great album. He then went on to say, He actually spoke about it being a popularity contest as well, which is interesting. He said, I even rang the head of the Mobos and put a word in as well and said, it will be a disservice if he never took the award home. And there's been some social commentary saying
referencing Bashi,
saying that the real Gets deserved it as well. But I ain't checked the project, so I can't comment. But I don't doubt it. I mean, listen, there's lots more that he said, right? But bro, like, I don't actually think there's a nice way to say this. But I'll say this, yeah. If I was Get's brethren, yeah. If I was like on his phone and I'm his friend, yeah, I'm asking him, bro, why do you keep going to these award shows, bro? Because it's like, as much as I will advocate for Bashi, yeah, Get's got the nomination here. He actually got the nomination here. And I don't care who you are. Nobody in this category dropped better music. So is this about the music or is this about something else? Now, you went on a rant when we said that this was the award show season, right? And you made some very great points about popularity contests over this is actually this is an art award. This is not a popularity award. This is an art award, or this is supposed to be an art award. And I just think that gets like he went to the Mobos, they snubbed him. He went to the Brits, they've snubbed him again. And if I'm Gets his brethren, I'm saying to Gets like, bro, like I've met Gets a few times. I've listened to Gets speaks. He seems like a nice, humble dude. But I'm saying to him, bro, forget all of that humble mess. Your Gets, you showing up in these places is putting credibility from where we come from in these places. And they're just taking the piss.
I think Gets is at a stage where visibility, Gets said that actually 2024 was one of the best years of his career, funny enough. And, you know, from an outsider's point of view, or maybe for us as fans, we would debate that because we would maybe just talk about the music. But I think he's talking about a lot of other things like recognition. And yeah, he hasn't won an award at both of these award ceremonies that we just spoken about. But I think the visibility for Gets, the profile, the brand is definitely on the rise. And we feel like maybe this should have happened a lot earlier in Gets' career. Something else that YB said as well, like he said, fan voting is shit. Can be influenced by one artist campaigning and another one not campaigning. So the award ends up meaning nothing. And that's why we never push fans to vote. It just becomes a popularity contest for whoever tries to win. I think it should be an average of three-way voting system: fan vote, panel, and another metric. Maybe people voting in person at the show, then taking an average of all three. So it's truly a surprise on the night when revealed. I think that's interesting. Again, we've already spoken about how we feel about fan voting. Yes, it's shit. We said the same thing as well. And yeah, man, there needs to be some type of different metric. And it's also very interesting as well that at the Brits, there's only 5 categories that were voted for by the by vote. You know what I mean? Not all of the categories were voted by vote. So like when it comes to Song of the Year and Album of the Year, that was definitely done by the panel. So why is that? Why did they choose to do Song and Album of the Year by the panel or the different metric, but not by voting? I don't know.
Well, I think the obvious answer why they would have thrown the grime, rap and hip hop act to a public vote is because they just don't care about it. Like, and it's not a secret. It's not a secret. I think this year's decision, you know, we can say it's fan vote or whatever. It's just evidence that they don't care. But what I would like to throw in there, just for seasoning, is who judges the, you know, like when there's an art exhibition, who's the person that does like art? Who judges? Who are the food critics? Like, what qualifications do these people have to be able to critique your food? Do you understand what I'm saying? Who awards the Michelin? No, because there's some kind of vetting process that people have to go through to award Michelin stars in these things, yeah? So when you get a Michelin star, it actually means something and you actually go somewhere. Because if we don't have some kind of process, and I'm saying all of this was sparked by YB saying that, you know, there needs to be a third metric. Maybe we need some kind of professional musician or something with some kind of, you know, accreditation to actually knowing what the hell they're talking about, as opposed to arguing over deep bars and metaphors or sing-alongs and turn up. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Because to me, ultimately,
it's how much credibility you put on these award ceremonies. I think something that YB's also said as well, Sench's never really cared about award shows. Same reason why you never seen him perform at any of them. Also, the reason why I didn't convince him to go to the Mobos this year, but he posted about it after he won, which was a respectful thing. He also spoke about the fact that when he said the lyric about H, it wasn't meant in disrespect. It was just that, like, you know, he turned up to the award ceremony and they gave it to someone else. And that was the kind of thing where, like, maybe I'm not going to come here again.
So that means, what I mean? Like, so wait, so does that mean we're not going to get a track with a guy called Stormzy? Is that not going to happen? And is that what YB's is basically saying? Like, bro, like, look. I think we can finally and thankfully say goodbye to award show season. We can shut the door. But I feel like if I'm gonna rank them, I'm gonna rank them. I'm gonna say that I feel like my interest in award shows in music is always going to come from the scope of black music. And I feel like if we're looking at popular culture, we look at the Super Bowl, we look at all of the things, black music is no longer underground music, so it shouldn't be treated as so. So I want to say that I feel like the Grammys, you know, that they're never going to be an award show where everyone's 100% happy, but I feel like the Grammys did reasonably well. I think the Mobos did. At the time, I felt a little bit let down by the Mobos, but after what I saw or what's just happened on Saturday night, I think the Mobos have done pretty well. I think the Brits is a joke. I think it's a joke because I think
let me add a counterbalance into what you're saying. I'm sorry to butt you there, Ness. Like, it was definitely about Charlie XCX this year. She won a lot of awards. She is an artist that has had a steady ascendancy. Like, she started her career and she was getting shunned a lot. She said that in her speech. I know we don't celebrate Charlie XCX because it's not the music that we DJ and blah, blah, blah. But I think coming from the plight that she came from very like humble beginnings. Like, she never made a big splash early in her career and she's had a steady ascent. And now, after all of these years, maybe 15 years deep in the game, she's now really got some really recognition from one of the biggest award show ceremonies. Do you know what I'm saying? Also, the winner of Group of the Year beating out Coldplay, The Cure, and The Last Dinner Party. I don't know too much about come on. Beating the other artists, the other groups in the category. The other groups in the category Group of the Year were Bring Me the Horizon. I don't know much about them. We all know about Coldplay, how big of a juggernaut they are. The Cure and The Last Dinner Party. The winner was Ezra Collective. That was a category that wasn't voted for as well, I believe. So there's integrity there. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like there was integrity. But listen, man, award show ceremonies are always going to be political, and it's about how much respect or credibility you put on them. If the artists don't believe and they're not about the award shows, then don't go. And I feel like if more bigger artists don't go and they make their stand, they make their protest, then it is going to be what it is, innit? I think what was quite notable as well is there was a significant amount of people that weren't there as well, that weren't at the Brits as well. So they had to make their speeches and their speeches were sent in. So maybe that's actually happening. Artists are like, I don't need these award show ceremonies. Some artists like to turn up. Listen, man, award shows as well are very much a party. People sitting down at tables, turning up and just having a freaking, it's like a big social club. So let's not get it twisted, man. And it's always going to be political. So there we have it.
I just want to finish what I was saying. And what I'm saying is this. I just feel like the Brits try to make black music seem like it's insufficient, like it doesn't have a place in mainstream society, in mainstream culture. Like the biggest sporting events in the world, we'll scrap the Super Bowl. We can look at, you know, like the World Cup and all of these things that go on in sport. Like, there's no presence of black music and we're just going to push it down in the corner and we're just going to give the one award that means something to that community to somebody who put one song out and even laughed and said it didn't even deserve it. Like, for me, like, I don't care about the artists. I care about what these things do for the culture and where it takes the music and what it does for the music. And I just felt like, as I said, we can wave goodbye to these awards for another year, but I just felt like the Brits, that was a mess. And the Hunger Games thing. And going back to the Hunger Games thing, the award show that I said that they were merging, it was like they were merging the Grammys with the Met Gala because it was just looking like a zoo in there. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I think, yeah, if we can just say goodbye to the Brits forever, I'll definitely not be watching it next year. And I don't know if we'll do another award show season. But let's just see, because at the end of the day, we now really start to get into the year. Like, now all that mess is gone. We can forget about 2024 and we can now go with 2025 and really see who's going to drop the next album. Who's going to, do you understand what I'm saying? Who's really going to grab this year by the bull or by the horns and control it? Do you know what I'm saying?